Once a year, nobility, merchants, performers, and hopeful romantics gather on the Yon River for a week long floating fair. Gigantic lily pads supporting small structures like stalls and little ballrooms, and even tea respite pedals drift down the river, tethered together by ribbons of moss and hardy entwined bark. Gondolas, swan boats, and even some floral rafts serve as taxis between the paths. The gentle current ensures the entire affair steadily drifts downstream, a new location every day, revealing new scenery. Willow groves on the first day, misty cliffs on the second, and even some wildflower meadows today. But of course, dear gentility, there's nothing like an idyllic festival to bring out young lovers and suitors alike. Will we be graced with the first blush of the season here during the last day of the festival? Or perhaps later tonight at the June Bloom dance? Only time will tell. We see the wisteria archways open up to the fair beyond as The day is in full swing. Promenading groups and couples are strolling about in their best. We see first the glimmering promenade, this boardwalk of floating buildings with different stalls and pavilions, all connected by those lily pads as lanterns float above, kind of like fireflies. I would like now to pan in to a Mr. Stephen St. Clair, finishing up checking in with his stall boy, who's running a very artistic setup. A small young man looks at you, tightens up his vest, stands up straight, and goes, "Don't you worry, I will tend the stall. I knows just how to get people to appreciate the arts."
That's grand, thank you. Do you think I should have brought the other one? You know, the one with the man holding the child, or perhaps this
Ah,
is the right one. I just
yeah. Oh, you definitely should have brought that one.
that's great to hear. Yes, thank you. Um, do I have time to run back? No. Fine. All right. We'll do that one next time. Just please, please make sure that you do this well. Please do do, do not let today go by poorly. Everything is riding upon this, and if it goes even an ounce wrong. Anyway, thank you for manning this. I appreciate you. And also remember that one is not called lily pads on the lake. It is lily pads on the river. Make
The
sure that is clear.
river. Of course, yes. And that's why I'm going to sell it. It is for sale, right?
Yes, they're all for sale.
Right, and I knew that, and that's why today's going to go swimmingly.
I need you to say one more time that you know that these are all for sale.
I know that these are art for sale, I think. All of them, right?
Yes, and
Yes.
and he literally starts like writing down little like, all right, this one is this much, this one is this much, this one is this much, and goes, just, you've got this, all right, you've got this. What was your name again?
Stanley.
Stanley. Great, Stanley. Don't muck this up. And he's going to turn and start to walk away towards his other obligations. This slight stiff walk as one of his legs does not bend, a cane being there to assist him as he makes his way down the streets.
Beautiful. You are traveling kind of away, and you can just hear in the background Stanley going, "Come and get it while it's hot! Fancy art! Fancy art!"
Oh god. Oh, it's gonna be a disaster. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you.
You feel the anticipation rising, that heat just under your collar as you know how much is riding on today. We see from a different area coming around down towards the riverbank, a Duchess Southwick, who is a bit behind a large group. Family, friends, loud, brightly patterned people, walking just ahead, garnering no shortage of stunned looks here. The decorum leaves something to be desired as you see one of your smaller cousins rip the ribbon out of your sister's hair and go swinging it around, sprinting full speed and screeching at the top of his lungs.
Come back here. Come back here. Stop it. You can't do that. You can't keep... you can't keep doing that. You can't
Yes,
keep
I
giving-
can! Watch!
Stop that.
Continues the screeching, screaming at the top of their lungs. You are getting serious looks. Please roll propriety for me.
It's 1d6, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And then you add propriety?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. 1.
Okay. Please take -2 to your reputation. As every one of you here at this table, your character, from wherever you may be, can hear the screeching and squelting. Uh, Duchess Southwick, can you please describe what you're wearing so that everyone knows that you are part of this group?
So she's wearing this like ruffled black just gown on with these little small flowers in her hair that her cousins probably put in there with this long flowing black hair and just her family Imram necklace that's just a star on it and she is trying her best to kind of ruffle up her skirt and just be like, please stop, please stop, please stop. You're hurting him. Don't do this. Please, please, please. Everybody's looking. Everybody's watching. You know that's what this does to the family. Can we?
You do see that your cousins are just getting this giddy gleefulness, this childhood wonder from you losing your mind about this. Uh, and anyone else who can see this mob of color and bright polka dots and clashing plaids, these brightly dressed people, very loud, you do see this speck of black, almost like the antithesis to the family, like a dog walker right behind this massive pack of wild animals. Um, who sees that, do we think? Let's see. I would like if the darling saw this. Uh, could you give us a bit of an introduction as to where you are in this general area and your reaction to this massive inconvenience?
Parvati is possibly around their family as well, but the difference I think would be when they turn around, they're like, everyone quiet and still. Like holding them as well, possibly other sister or brother who wants to like run off, but they're just holding a parasol uh, to hide for a second, to everyone to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
They're wearing their like Vexamore colors of deep burgundy and like sunset tones, and all of them have long curly hair, and they uh, they're not tall. They're standing around like 5'6", and all of them have the birth, like not the birthmark, but the distinct Vexmore look, which is the white hair that is on the side, just a streak through their curls. And they have one hand on their sibling. Parvati has that sibling also hold the other hand of the other, and they have like this smile of like,
your
fine.
your mother is standing next to you. You have kind of closed ranks with your parasols, both turning your back to that loud group and like making sure you're shielded in the shade. Your mother taps both of your younger siblings and goes, "Darlings, why don't you run off and see if you can rent a kite? Look at this. I have kite money. Take this." And the kids immediately go rushing. She goes, "And you stay with me, dear."
Okay, don't buy the purple ones. The ones with the bows. Maybe we could share. Okay.
No sharing. No. Child's play.
Huh.
Women speaking. And she drapes her arm through yours, and it's like a hook. It is steel. As she goes, "Walk with me."
Yes, mother.
As my eldest, darling, I must say how proud I am of you. You've really held your siblings to a proper standard. But your head is still full of these childish things. Flying kites, dreams of sorts. You're still having dreams? Listen, dear.
Well, the book that I was reading before, it had a really good story about there was an island and there was treasure on it, and then there was all these things that I could go and see. And so I did dream about it a little bit. I was swinging from sail to sail. Is
No.
that not allowed?
No, that is also not allowed. In fact, the only thing that is allowed is you finding a love match. It's very important because I want you to be happy, of course, because
Mm,
I'm a good mother. But you have
mm,
to find one now, is what
mm,
I'm saying.
mm,
And that will mean that you
mm,
have different dreams coming true, dear.
but
Isn't that beautiful? No, 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 no,
but
no treasure. No, no, no.
uh,
Shh, 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 shh. No
uh,
treasure. Treasures is fiction, yes.
uh,
What's real is this. You see those lily pads floating down the river? That's real.
uh,
Treasure and islands doesn't exist. None of that
yeah,
exists. It doesn't
yeah,
make sense. Don't worry
no,
about it. You'll never see it. It doesn't matter because you're going to be someone's lovely spouse.
yeah. I mean, of course. Um, but like the lily pads, they have flowers and there's wonderful stems. And what if we could swim in them? And what if
Swim
that
in
is
the
more
stems.
fun than
Swim in the
a love
stems.
match?
Oh, darling, I know it seems more fun to be whimsical and hopeful and free, but trust me, it's so much more fun to be married when your parents have a reputation to uphold. Yes?
Parvati does a look out, but looks to their mother with just like these deep eyes where they just say, I understand, mother. I will do my best.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm going to go look after your siblings and make sure they don't take the purple ones. Uh, you should mingle, dear. As your mother gestures out beyond, insisting that you mingle, you see that there is no shortage of options. The day is growing fruitful, it seems, as trees do indeed begin to blossom with their noon fruits. It is about noon, and some people are plucking a few fresh fruits to sit down on the grassy area and just relax. We see a rather scholarly sort entering here. Where do we find you on the Yon River Fair?
Um, so you would find me. Are there any trees on these lily pads, or is there like a? I want to be under a tree of some sort, or maybe in a
Absolutely.
gazebo.
You could absolutely be at the Petals Respite, where there's a lot of like relaxation under a tree that is encased in this bubble. And there's a person who sits up at the top and shakes petals through the ceiling. Very romantic, very, very reserved. But also, there's people having picnics out on the lawn under some trees, picking some noon fruits.
Ooh, okay. I would like to be on a small quilted fabric that I brought with me. Uh, it's only big enough for me because why would I bring one that's bigger? That's not necessary. Um, and I am sitting on this quilted blanket and I'm reading a small little booklet. Uh, and for those of anyone who is like passing by, if they were to look at the cover, it's like the early settlement of Serpent by the Sea, and kind of like the lore of the location there and how it kind of got its name and how the settlers there at the very early on began to build their homes. And I'm just kind of there. I've got a small little cup of water. I'm trying to just like blend in. I'm like people watching occasionally between flipping my pages, just kind of relaxing.
Yeah. Uh, you hear a couple of tittering giggles from not too far off behind you. You hear it a couple of times. Uh, if you were to look, you would see a couple of very demure women who are giggling behind their fans as they kind of steal glances at you, as if daring each other to come over and say something. What is your reaction to this?
Upon making note of it, I see them and I. Oh god. Oh god. Like I bring the book closer to my face. Um, I glance again. Um, I flip. I didn't even read the page. I just flipped because I want my hands to be busy. I didn't even finish reading it.
Absolutely. Uh, go ahead and roll me a candor. You have seen them and they have seen you, and you are absolutely avoiding any further action,
Uh-huh.
which would kind of be expected of you. So I would love to have you roll candor for me.
4.
Okay, so on a 4, uh, you do indeed see that one of them stands up to start making their way towards you. You can add 1 to your reputation and 1 to yearning that you can either hold for now, or if, because everyone at this table is within view distance, if your gaze tends to land on anyone, you can add 1 yearning to that. As
Noted.
one of these girls gets up to start walking your way and is interrupted by a gracious, large fan thwack as a servant steps in front of them, fully in front of them. Thwap! My liege, you may step forward. As you see the second prince Hastings. Please describe what we see here as a woman is smacked in the face with the back of a fan so that your walking way may not be obstructed.
Don't hit the ladies with the hand there. Are you all right there, love? And he will reach forward and kiss the back of her hand before way. You see.
First, you have to roll me a touch move. Please roll plus propriety in this moment, as that thwack was enough to get a few eyes. So if you're already kissing a hand.
Oh yes, we're starting off strong. I do want it noted. My propriety is a 0. That is a 6, though. That is a 6.
Yeah, as soon as you, a prince, stick up for this random young lady, you see a few fans begin to flutter and a couple of flirtatious eyes batting your way as you hear whispers of, oh, so gentlemanly, so charming, you took the time, I can't believe that.
He shoots a wink at any of the ladies that are around.
Any of the ladies that are around? Okay.
Specifically one that's a little further away from where these two that just got hit with the fan.
I will say that you do see Duchess Rebecca Southwick, and you do see Parvati Vexmore as well, who are in the area here.
Parvati, you get a wink.
Add 2 to the yearning, please, and 2 to your reputation. As now, please describe what we see.
Yep, sorry.
No, had to start off with a bang. You kicked the door down and we're like, I'm kissing hands.
Kissing hands, I'm sending winks. William, His Highness, Second Prince William Lark Hastings, is dressed very finely, though his cravat has the clear tell of like he's been fiddling with it, so it's not nearly as stiffly up his neck. He has a pocket watch and several like a handkerchief in both pocket and her pocket, wearing the royal colors, and he looks like he is trying his damnedest to lose whatever leash is currently on him, whoever the lady or person that is on his side, to kind of keep him in order. And he has his hair coiffed, and he looks everything of a prince. He just, whenever he opens his mouth, though, you see that rake immediately seep out of him.
Lovely. Your manservant, Ripley, retracts the fan and is gently tapping it in the palm of his hand as he escorts you forward and says, Sir, I don't understand why you feel this way about your natural duty to bless these people with your presence. I swear.
Ripley, darling, I am blessing them with my presence. And if they are kind and gentle enough, I'll bless them a little bit more.
No, no! And the fan is tapping at your shoulder incessantly. I will have none of that. Your dear mother put me in charge, and to go against what she has explicitly asked me to do would be treason.
Why does
Treason!
she need to worry about me? She's already got her darling Henry and his wonderful wife Elizabeth. I don't know why she needs to fuss about me.
You know very well why. I have spent the last all of your life telling you why.
Ripley, I think
Sir,
I think you need to get fucked. As gently as I can say that.
sir, there is no time for such things when I am trying to get you into a proper marriage.
There's a lovely lady over there. I'm sure she'd love to go around the bush and just have a little quickie with you.
Sir, we must not speak of such things. Please roll me another propriety.
I missed my box that I was rolling in, and that's what happens. I got a 2.
Wonderful. Overhearing this, because you slid a wink to our lovely Lady Vexmore, you hear this, Lady Vexmore, this brash, unfeeling, uncaring, very roguish behavior from the man who just slid you a wink. As his manservant is getting very riled up, bright as a tomato, trying to fan off himself and going, "Sir, please, no, don't say things like that in front of ladylike company," and kind of slides you a look, Lady Vexmore.
They kind of hide themselves behind the parasol, like as if they're saying like, and pull back forward, and not knowing what to say. Hello, no, and do a little curtsy.
As soon as you do a curtsy, immediately the hand goes behind the back. It's like, straighten your posture, love. You're within royalty. Because I'm enacting the royal proximity law.
Roll propriety, please. Not for you, the rake. For you, not being straight in your posture.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
That's a 4.
Okay, so on
I
a
love
4,
this so much.
add 1 to your reputation as you barely get the word straighten out of your mouth, Prince, Your Highness, and you see that the shoulders are immediately back, like as if you saying that first syllable was enough to remind so at least someone knows proper decorum around here. Add 1 to your reputation, Lady Vexmore, and 1 to Yearning, as the commanding tone and like blase type of vibe is doing something for you, for this lovely prince in front of you.
Of course. My apologies, Prince.
Well, may I get to the lovely lady's name? You already know who I am, no doubt.
Uh, l- uh, uh, Lady Parvati Vexmore.
Lady Vexmore. Pleasure. For the sake of propriety, he straightens up and he does a bow, or like very slight nod, because I don't think the prince would bow or lower his head further for anybody at this point. Not yet. Second Prince William Lark Hastings. It's a pleasure. You have an escort.
Like you're being tapped with a fan at your back.
He turns Ripley. He's like, "You wanted me to meet tonight, ladies. Gentlemanly way would be to escort the lovely lady to perhaps the pet or respite."
Of course, Your Highness, whatever you see fit.
Ripley, I would love an explanation of why I shouldn't escort this lovely lady. Do you want to tell it to her face that the prince can't even walk her from one lily pad to the other?
My mother should be returning. I don't have an extra.
Please,
but,
to the respite. Of course.
Unless you would rather wait for your mother. I make you uncomfortable, dear.
I immediately Ripley's eyes are going back and forth between you two.
I do want y'all to know
No,
above
no.
table, y'all getting the same level across the board if you
Yeah,
need
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah. Literally had to turn the left and say damn to myself. So, um, um, Parvati's lost with words. They're just scrambling to find something. They're like, yes, an escort. That would be respectable and appropriate. Yes.
I will lead the way, my highness, your highness, our highness. Good, oh goodness. And he is getting himself truly flustered as he knows that he can't stop you, and will instead start thwacking the fan ahead of him 3 times on each side, as is decorum. As
If you hit
you
another
come to the
person, I'll get another lady on my other arm, Ripley.
and,
Oh.
he's very much more careful with where he thwacks the fan as we kind of let you guys wander to the petals respite.
Very
Uh,
much like puts her hand up, puts it on his elbow. Very again, like he's afraid, but he also, understands.
Mm.
yeah,
They
Wants to be respectful to
have,
this lady that he kind of yanked into this situation.
if they know a little bit of their past or just what was heard around, their hand is just very delicately on it, but they're looking around like, damn it. Oh no. Mother didn't say this was going to be the first person I meet. I was just literally turned around. Okay, great. Huh, we're going.
And you manage to walk off towards the Petals Respite, this lovely little bubble where people are taking tea, playing some parlor games, games of wit, etc. I would love to check in with Stephen St. Clair. Where do you think your feet are leading you in this moment?
Uh, they are leading him to the, I think, to the pedal respite, uh, but to a shade lounge off to the side a bit. He's
Oh.
not looking to go directly to the center of anything, and as soon as he sits down, he pulls out a small, like drawing notebook
Yeah.
and just begins sketching the scenes in front of him, trying to get any form of inspiration from these moments, and just kind of makes, like, may stare for a moment too long as he's trying to capture the likeness of an individual, or the overall composition of a space, trying to bring
Absolutely.
it back to the studio.
I Please, for me, Duchess and Professor, I need you both to roll a flat d6 and add nothing to it.
5.
6.
Okay. As you are looking for inspiration, Mr. St. Clair, you are scanning the area. A batch of fervent color catches your eye. Maybe too much to sketch down, but behind them, trailing in shame and embarrassment, is a lovely spot of black in a day where everyone is wearing their best and brightest, looking to be seen. There is one shrinking violet among the roses here that is giving you some inspiration. Would you please, our entrepreneur, roll me an interpret? That means roll plus your insight, please. We're gonna see if you can figure out what's going on across the river.
That is a 3.
Okay. On a 3, take 1 away from your reputation, as you can hear a lot from here, just being next to the gossip hub. And a woman walking by, putting away her parasol to enter the Petals Respite, looks at you and looks where you're looking and goes, I wouldn't, dear, if I were you. Family's nothing but trouble. Just, if I were you, is all.
Thank you, Mom. Much appreciated.
Of course, dear. And she gives you a lingering look as she makes her way into the Petals Respite. But your
Even as he
eye,
says that, his eyes continue to be drawn towards this woman.
yeah, it's being pulled that way. You can add one to your yearning if you'd like, but your 3 did earn you a 1+ ire. And as you see the prince and Lady Vexmore walking up to the Petals Respite, you can choose one of them to add this to just by the cut of their jib, if you'd like.
Oh, we're gonna so either to our rakish prince, or to our darling. I'm gonna give it to the rake.
Yeah, I gotta give it to the
Yeah,
rake.
you gotta give it to the rake.
What
Uh,
am I getting?
also, please, Mr. St. Clair, roll propriety to see if, as the prince walks by, you straighten up true to form.
That is a 7.
Oh my
Ooh.
god! Ah,
Military
absolutely.
man. Snap right to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the prince coming straight as an arrow.
Yeah.
Add 2 to your
notebook goes-
reputation.
Heck yeah, the notebook goes back into his pocket. He adjusts his jacket. This is like a jacket from last season, but he's done his best to make it look as fine as possible. And just
Yeah.
snapping, stands there. And yeah, his head is up. It is as though his military experiences has popped in, and he has taken back over his training that he spent months, years honing.
Incredible. You absolutely snap to. It is so pristine that our darling prince, you can absolutely like notice it from a mile away. You're like, oh, someone knows how to treat royalty around here. And that's 2 to your reputation. Also, you get a little to yearning as you see these 2 pass. You can add that to anyone in this scene. There's 3 people in your line of sight. I want to focus on the professor right now. Professor, you see that one of the girls who was rudely stopped from coming up to talk to you links arms with another person and the other girl she was talking to, and they start making their way over to the Petals Respite as well, but she keeps making eyes at you. It seems like an invitation, but it's certainly not an introduction. What do you do?
Oh God. Um, well, I
can't
think
drink
I
my
saw.
water. I can't drink my
I will gingerly fold up my quilted blanket and put it back into a pack that I'm going to check. Is there a place where I can check a bag or some kind of? I want to get rid of my stuff
Sure.
without losing it forever in the
Yeah,
river.
absolutely. Over on the Glimmering Promenade, there is an entire stall where it's like we'll give you a ticket. It's kind of like a hat and coat check kind of vibe. So you could go
Okay.
over there and do it.
Yeah, so I begin to walk over there and I'm like adjusting my circular glasses and like brushing off my brown vest just to make sure I don't have any like grass or seeds or anything on it. And I check my bags and pan around because at this point I probably lost them, but I know where they were heading. I'm just going to kind of straighten my clothing, deep breath, and begin to walk towards the tea room.
Yeah. You are going to have to pass our lovely Duchess Rebecca, who may not be on the way to the Petal Respite, but as you are going past each other here, there's going to be some crossing on some lily pads. You are clumsy, you said,
Yeah,
Professor?
indeed.
Would you please go ahead and roll me, as you are passing, you accidentally bump into Duchess Rebecca Southwick. And I would need both of you to roll me a touch move, please. Meaning roll plus propriety. See if you can maintain your cool
6.
here. Ooh, you don't fall in.
I have 4.
Okay. So those are both pretty good outcomes. You're each going to add a little bit to your reputation as you bump into each other, startle back, and you're able to actually meet eyes here in this moment as the lily pad bridge rocks underneath you. What do you do?
I kind of like instinctually hand on lower back to make sure that she doesn't fall. Um, I am my apologies. Sorry.
No. It was me. It was me. I should have looked where I was going. I was just trying to get away. I'm
Oh,
very
nonsense.
sorry.
I'm naturally very clumsy. Get away. Where? Get away from what?
Um, Screaming children.
Ah,
Yes.
I understand.
Yes. It was just a lot. My family is a lot, so I just wanted to skedaddle, leave, vamoose. But I'm very sorry that I ran into you.
Oh,
Are you okay? Sorry to not
yes.
ask.
No. I'm totally fine. And please don't apologize. This is a wonderful introduction. I actually don't know anybody here. Sir Attis Klim.
Oh, Duchess Rebecca. You do not need to know my last name. Do not worry about it.
Fighting
Uh,
every urge to ask.
um, do you? Well, where are you headed to?
Oh, and I begin to turn red in the cheeks. I was heading over to the tea room. I would you like to accompany me?
Absolutely. Also, before we do that, what's the book again?
This is a small piece of writing of the town Snake by the sea. It just kind of goes over the history of the area.
That's fascinating. Would we be able to walk and you tell me about it? If you don't mind. If
I don't mind at all. Yeah. So, legend has it that Sir Himble was looking for fresh water, but could only find salt water by the sea, and they followed a snake to a small area of fresh water, and then they used that respite of drinking water to build their settlements.
that's incredible. Oh my goodness. If you don't mind, tell me more.
By all means.
You're giving off these facts as you're kind of like you've bumped into each other. You caught her a bit, and then you just kind of started talking. Roll me, please, Professor, propriety in this moment to see if you remembered to remove your touch as you kind of re-angle and start walking towards the tea room.
That was a 3.
Okay. On a 3, take -1 to your reputation as you did not remember to move your hand away from her lower back. It feels so natural.
Ah,
You just kind of pivot and begin walking, talking about this special interest of yours. Um, and you see a few people just ahead of you entering that tea room. One of them, who seems to be oddly fixated on the person that you've met here, sitting there, not sketching anymore, but sitting there stealing glances, kind of like those girls were at you on the lawn just a bit ago.
interesting.
You
I've
are
marked the reputation.
good. You all make it into the Petals Respite here, where this is kind of like a miniature ballroom mixed with a parlor. It's this beautiful glass dome made to look like an iridescent bubble, and the floor is nothing but creeping time. So very plush, easy on the feet, a really good place to kick off your shoes if you'd like to risk such a decorum etiquette faux pas, and really relax. Rose petals are routinely being shaken down from the ceiling by some kid dressed as Cupid, but he kind of looks like a newsie with just like rouge on his cheeks. And you see that there is tea being passed out to anyone who sits, and there are people gathering to play a duel of wits, which you're not sure what that could be, but there's a couple of activities going on here. Um, the princely Lark and our lovely Lady Vexmore, you were the first to actually enter. Where do you sit? It seems that there is genuinely no table that is alone. It seems like you enter, you sit where you can, and everyone kind of shares the space, which is maybe a very new concept to you, Lark. But where do
This is
you
not a new concept to me at all. Just not in the Ton sense. He actually looks over at Lady Vexmore and says, and he like leans in and whispers a little bit, and he says, "Right, love, here's the deal. If you don't want to be having the spotlight on you, you can graciously bow away and go find whatever suitor you've been after this whole time with the grace from myself, or you can join me and sit over there next to that fine chap that saw sketching just a bit earlier. Entirely up to you, but I understand if you don't want to be sitting next to a rake."
There. This is quite a lot of spotlight for my first. Okay. No, I feel safe for now. I think I should stay. And no, I'm not looking for. No, I am looking for a suitor. I am looking for a suitor.
For sure.
Yes. I just believe a spouse must be like a good book, gripping, surprising, comforting, someone you could keep turning the page and not get bored of. And it seems this is the way we start, right? Not judging by the cover. Okay, you can call me Parvati if you wish.
Parvati. It's a beautiful name. You can call me Lark because I'm good for a laugh.
I need you to both roll candor for me, please, in this moment.
Ooh, there's another 6 with the reputation of 2, so 8.
Okay. Oh, wait, a reputation of 2. No,
Does the reputation not go
it's
up and down?
your reputation does, but you don't add that to your.
Oh,
to your
okay,
roll.
cool. Never
Just
mind.
your
Cool.
candor.
6, wonderful, great, thank you. I was goofy, but still 6.
Okay,
Oh,
that is
6
the best
plus-
outcome.
No, it's not a 6. My candor is -1 because I'm a rake. So it's a 5. I can add.
So
I can
close. You do get a little bit to the reputation here as you see that people are noticing that you're giving the Lady of Exmoor an out, 1, and 2, respectful distance. You also get to add 1 to your yearning here as you hear Lady Vexmore go on her little vulnerable rant. Lady Vexmore, what did you get in your candor roll?
7.
Okay, you add 2 to your reputation. And 2 to your yearning as well, which is moving right along as you spot the gentleman in the corner who you start making your way over to, which is our lovely Stephen St. Clair. We will check right back in on that in just a moment, because first I would like to know where our professor and our duchess are ending up. Are you gravitating towards tea time, or are you gravitating toward the duel of wits here?
I'm very interested in people watching the Duel of Wits. So I think I would notice them lining up for that and gesture. Do you know anything about this wits thing that they're about to do?
I do. I've never witnessed it though, so that might be very new.
Witness.
Well then, would you mind performing in some people watching? I'd be curious to study the occasion.
That would Rebecca's heart loves people watching.
Please
Me
add
too.
1 to your yearning.
Loves a good people watch. I'd be like, yes, absolutely. Yes, I do have to say, I remember when I told you about you didn't need to know my last name. I just wanted to make this abundantly clear before we even be seen together. Um,
Oh,
um, I'm a Southwick, and that carries a certain reputation, which means that my family is a lot. And by a lot, I mean my brother and my middle brother are absolute barbarians, and everybody else is on my ass. So Um, I don't want to make you uncomfortable if you see. I, but I would love to keep being around you and people watching with you and listening to your fascinating stories. I like. It's actually a really nice change of pace.
Rebecca, I have no I'm a humble professor. Please come and people watch with me.
Oh, okay. So
I need you, Rebecca, to roll candor, and I need you, Professor, to roll. Also roll candor. This is a prove move from you for sure.
Steven is
Not
like
great.
sketching furiously as these two are interacting. He's just like, "This is pure gold." Oh my god! Like,
I got a 2.
I got a
Ooh.
6.
Okay. Rebecca, you see that he has no intent to shun you for your family name. You add +2 to your reputation as people see you among a very sensible and grounded company, not like they usually see you. Also, please add 2 to your yearning. And you said you got a 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going so well.
You don't have anything to change that to?
It was a 1. I rolled a 1. And I have a +1.
All right. You get a -1 to reputation, as unfortunately people do start associating you with the Southwick name, and
It's
1 to
okay, it's back where I
ire
started.
as you see that either people are starting to treat you differently, or that there is already someone hyper focused on your interaction with this Southwick who is sketching furiously while watching you from across the room.
Oh. Noted. Thank you.
Of course. So we have some people watchers going to observe the Duel of Wits, and we have some tea time folks who are off in the corner here, and we're going to pan back over to them as approaching you, Mr. St. Clair, is the prince and a lovely lady who take seats right around the table that is in front of your chaise area and look to you expectantly. What do you say?
As soon as they approach, I put the notepad away once again. Your Royal Highness, sir, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And Miss, I'm sorry, we have not been introduced.
I have the honor of presenting Miss Lady Parvati Bexmore. She is that of her namesake. And Mr. St. Clair, was it? Nope, you didn't pronounce your name yet. I'm so sorry.
Yes, but Mr. Stephen St. Clair.
Mr. St. Clair. Right. And the prince will pull out a chair for you, Party, and gesture for you to take a seat.
Thank you.
Closer to St. Clair.
Oh,
Interesting.
Homie is dealing with some things. Don't worry about it.
Mother's gonna have so many questions.
Yeah, Steven like puts a little bit of extra pressure on his cane to stand up, to usher to Pravati to sit. You can see that stiffness in his leg as he does. Please, Lady Vexmore, it is a pleasure. I do apologize. I've been taken with inspiration this fine afternoon.
That's what you were doing in your book there, writer.
Artist, or at least attempting to reach such levels of creativity. The muse from time to time lingers and often leaves, and I find that coming to such gallant places with such fine individuals as yourselves, makes it easier for me to find
I
him.
want to see. I would love to see what you're sketching. They will smile over to Sir Stephen and almost gently just usher him to be like still, even with his like cane. Like if she can help him sit or adjust, and just actually spread a smile.
Give me
It's
that move. Roll it!
That is a 5 plus. Nope, it's just a touch move plus propriety. Oh, that's a -1. That's a 4.
Okay, but a 4 is still a +1 to reputation. As someone across the room, you see a gentle tilt of their head as they watch you help Mr. St. Clair, as they're like, oh, what a darling. That's so nice. Love her.
Love her.
Tell me.
And
do-
also, please add 1 to your yearning,
with entrepreneur.
if you'd like.
Oh, I can choose.
Yeah, if you want to add this to the prince for putting you over there, again, prioritizing your reputation, you can. But if you would like to give this to the entrepreneur that you are actually touching in this moment, you can do either.
Okay, I'll keep it a secret.
It's all secrets here.
Tell me, do you draw what's there, or what you wish you saw?
A bit of both, probably. Moments of wanting to. I try to capture the moment as it is, but when I put paint to canvas, I strive to make sure that it's a little more. And he pulls out his notebook and opens up, and you see that he has drawn Duchess Southwick and the professor conversing with one another, and you see the base outline of everyone else as though they are framed in the center. And he goes, I don't know, there was something about her and then him and the way that they were interacting, and there was something pure about it, and everyone else, it almost seemed like disappeared from the world. I don't know how I'm going to transcribe this to something larger, but I can see it.
I prefer to know when I'm being seen, but this is wonderful. Their countenance is drawn, and they like put their hands over the sketch, but not to like smudge anything, just as if they're like the vignette. Before you draw the smile last. I find it's the most dishonest part.
I prefer to not let people see me when I draw what I'm trying to capture, because I find that they put on a falsehood. I think there's a realness, this realism in capturing the candid. I
And
do
Claire,
struggle with the smiles. Yeah?
can I ask you a question? Are you wholly focused on Lady Vexmore, or do you cast glances over at the prince?
I think neither. I think he's fixated on the drawing pad, and by that, he is then also, his attention is to Lady Vixmore. He does not really put any focus towards the prince.
Oh, it's great. As the two of you are talking, the prince just. The two of you are having a lovely conversation. I'll be seeing myself over to the wits battle then. Please continue with your. No.
Oh no, I think it's best if I go to see the duel as well. I do enjoy a battle. I mean, no, that's not what I enjoy. No, wits, yes. And if you do wish to have words, I would love an escort, as we started. and they like look to see if their mother is around.
Yeah. Give me a scheme roll here. Roll plus influence, and we'll see what we find.
That's a 6 + 1 for a 7.
Yeah, you're scheming. You're scheming real good. Wonderful. So you get a +2 to your reputation. As you do notice that your mother is like outside the residence.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Hold on, I have a perfect prop
Ma'am.
for this.
We have children.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She's looking in, and you see she's also kind of surrounded by some other ladies who are like, the prince, you say? That's look at you. She's really moving up. She's taking it seriously. So there's already some rumor mills, and you're gathering a little bit of that reputation, but also you get 2 to your yearning. Now, you can't split it 1v1, but it could still go to either gentleman here, as you stand, see your mother, and offer for the prince to continue being your escort for the day.
If you
With
look
the
back at the
prince.
prince, he's a little stunned that you want to stick around with him.
Is it like stunned, like excited though? Or like accepting of it?
It's so like the entire time you've been talking to him, he's had kind of that like laissez-faire sort of attitude about him, and you can tell that he was trying to probably extricate him from your conversation. So when you stand up and are like, "Ooh, we should go together," there's a look of a little bit of bewilderment, but then an actual genuine smile on his face as he says, "Not judging books by their covers," as you said. Certainly, my lady. You and the. Did you have a rank, sir? I can tell a military man when I see one.
Corporal. Didn't get too high. And he kind of taps at his leg, injured and all.
Thank you for
I
your
don't-
service.
It's my pleasure. Anything for the kingdom and the royal family, and this is what we do.
Your
He
sacrifice is much more appreciated than mine. I'll tell you that's for sure.
Roll
This-
to interpret. Steven, roll to interpret right now. Roll plus insight.
Plus insight. That's a 4.
Okay. With a 4 means you can get the gist of what's going on here, but not too much, not like seeing through to the proper meaning. So with a 4, adjust your reputation and yearning accordingly. As Prince Lark, can you tell us what Stephen is gleaning while not having a full understanding of what you mean by that, but getting the gist?
It St. Clair would pick up that Lark. There's a bit of derision, either with his family or with the royalty as a whole, that you can kind of pick up on, and he thinks those that are in the service to the crown are either better or doing a better service, or shouldn't be putting themselves on the line for the royal family. You can tell that he respects you, and there's not a whole lot of respect for the crown from him.
Okay.
Wonderful.
But,
Stephen, as this is said, gives kind of this little nod of not fully recognizing all of that, but at least recognizing when someone's actually genuine about, because there's one thing to be like, oh, thanks for your service, and another thing to be like, I recognize what you did, and I recognize it was hard. And so he kind of has this moment of like taking in that thanks, and he looks to Lady Vexmore. I do hope that well, maybe you'll come see the piece when it's complete. Um, and maybe I'll just get the smile right. Might just take a muse or two to get there.
You join us for the battles of wits, sir.
I will never turn down an invitation from a prince, certainly.
No, you shouldn't. We go to the grandest of parties and adventures that I'm sure both of you would be an excellent muse or an excellent scandal. Come, let's go look upon
Roll
these wits.
propriety.
I gotta bring it back every time. That's a 3. This man
Okay.
can't be serious for 2 seconds.
Another one away from reputation. You can decide where you want to put that ire as you do catch a glimpse of Lady Vexmore, the mother outside, zoomed in, locked, enhance from
Mother.
outside. And you head off towards the Duel of Wits. As you are standing, Mr. St. Clair, Duchess Rebecca Southwick, you are people watching. You see this glorious trio standing up and making their way over. Give me an interpret roll, please. So roll plus insight here.
Hand on Vexmore, and the other hand on Sir St. Clair. Got 2 of these.
Give me a touch move, please.
Yes, thank you.
Got 2 hands. Okay.
Roll plus propriety yet
Sick.
again.
Let's go. I will have 2 people on my arm. Thank you very much.
That is +2 to yearning and to reputation, as people look at you and they're like, wow, so desirable, so eligible. This is actually really fun for me, like watching the prince have 2 people. And Duchess, what did you get?
I got a 5.
Okay. On a 5, add 1 to your reputation, as people have started connecting the dots to Mr. St. Clair fervently looking up at you and sketching. And as he gets up to start making his way over with the prince in tow, to stand pretty close to you as you're all kind of people watching this battle of wits here, you notice that there's something sticking out of his pocket. You recognize the frills of your dress, the dark black of your silhouette.
Oh, what is that there? What is?
Oh, my lady. The prince will literally reach into St. Clair's pocket and pull it out for her. Yeah,
Apologies, miss.
it's a wonderful countenance of you. He really got your lovely cheeks and the wonderful bow of your nose there. A great artist, wouldn't you say so?
This is stunning. I mean, yes, this is stunning.
Well, thank you. It's not done. It's a work in progress. It's pretty rough. But I saw a moment and tried desperately to capture it.
Mr. St. Clair, please roll me a prove move. This is, plus candor. This is as honest as you can get, capturing the beauty the way that you see it. Would you like to re-roll by sacrificing 1 reputation, looking desperate in this moment?
Can I either lose reputation or anything to help him in this, since I engaged in this?
I'm gonna re-roll it. Yeah, I'm gonna lose
Re-roll
one.
it.
Believing that you got this.
Okay.
Huzzah!
All right, take 1 away from your reputation, as you, on a 5, add 1 to your reputation, add 1 to your yearning here, as up close, you see Duchess Southwick alight in this golden hour. Petals begin to fall right on time as Cupid has begun his hourly. Those rose petals begin to fall and rain around, cascading around her. You think in this moment you might be able to get the smile right.
Yeah, Stephen looks up at Cupid and goes, "Not the muse I thought it would be, but a muse all the same." And do you, I know this is not completely proper, but could I just take a moment? The lighting and the little lad is
Oh, inspiration and inspired? Are you?
yes. I think so.
Yes, absolutely. What do you need me? What do you need me to do?
Turn. Yeah, no, turn. No, a little bit back. There we go. And if you can just turn your head. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And look up. Yeah. Not that high. Not that high. A
Oh,
little
okay.
lower.
Just
There we
where-
go.
where's
Okay.
that? Okay.
Now I'm gonna. This is going to be very rough. You know, this is we take it elsewhere.
You
And
certainly
he-
said.
and he-
Propriety! Propriety! Right now!
Shit.
Now we take it elsewhere.
Wonderful, Meadow. That is a 1.
That is a 3 for me on propriety.
Yes.
I would also like to say that a passion. I have a move called the passion most unprofessional. Is
Correct.
when you're prone to fits of passionate exclamations, rushed actions, general spirited nature. When you act passionately when attempting a move, you may roll with advantage.
Go ahead and roll again. This
Okay.
is as passionate as you get. You've been inspired.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay, that's better than a 3.
Yes.
Better than a 3. So add 1 to your yearning and
Okay.
1 to your reputation, as people are kind of like billowing around, watching you work at this fast pace, trying to catch it. Even the little Cupid up there is like, "Oh, he called me little lad. Keep going." He's gonna shake more petals for you. The light is hitting just right. People are admiring your work. Professor, you are seeing this Duchess be swept up in artistic appreciation as the Prince and Lady Vexmore kind of get scooted over closer to you. You're kind of getting packed in now as people are now milling about for the duel, but also watching this artist at work in real time. What do you do, Professor?
I feel like at first it was I had noticed that Rebecca was having a conversation with someone and not wanting to engage in it just off of like feeling like I should. I was like looking this way at the Battle of Wit, listening with one ear just to kind of like figure out what's going on. And as things have developed more, I feel like I would have turned and went, "New friends, Prince."
Roll propriety to see if you remembered that Prince posture in time.
3.
Okay. -1 to your reputation as you do straighten up, but the Prince is like bustled straight into you because of the rest of this crowd that is kind of pushing forward. Prince Lark, you are pressed against this person without much concern for space by the rest of the crowd. You do feel that he is stock straight, like he is keeping the posture now. But there's already been a couple of whispers of, well, that Prince does get along quite quickly, doesn't he? As you are against the glass.
So stunning. If we have been shuffled over to like where the bubble is, like at
Yeah.
the edge on the glass,
Absolutely.
hand above the head to the professor. Sorry about that.
Roll propriety!
appreciated.
Roll propriety now!
That is a 5.
Dot exe
Absolutely.
not working.
Yeah, I feel
One
like
to
it's
reputation and one to yearning in this moment.
There's definitely some yearning now with this like adorable professor that I've got caught under me.
I feel like with me going straight as a board, noticing you were there, and then you running into me, I likely did stumble backwards into the bubble.
Yeah. You are very close.
Hello. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure.
Sir
Normally
Attis Clem.
Sir Attis Clem. It's a pleasure to meet you. William Hastings. I do apologize for the rough push. Normally I'd buy you a drink and we have a lovely room for something like this, but seems the ton is not very kind with their elbows and with their words.
Just full red at this point.
Go ahead and I need yet another propriety roll just from the prince.
Can we make this like an audio
You're out
thing?
here
Propriety.
Meta uses it as like an objection.
Just the bell. Shame.
Order, propriety.
I love that I chose the stats that have a 0 to propriety. That is a 1.
Okay. On a 1, take -2 to reputation as you see in the center of the ring for the Duel of Wits is the Bloom Queen, aka last year's first blush. And she hears this, and you see the fan come out, and she fans herself and leans away and starts whispering to someone else. It becomes a bit of a circle here that this is at least the third time that the prince has loudly declared that they can get a private room with a stranger. And that is going to knock against your reputation a little bit. Where is your reputation at, perchance, my highness?
It is 2 up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can get that down. Those are rookie numbers. We can get
Those
that
are rookie
down.
numbers. I have been trying, Meadow, to get my reputation down. I am a rake.
You are full red. You hear that there is the thwack of a fan against the palm yet again. You can hear behind you, Prince Lark, Ripley is like, no. No one listen to any of those rumors. Stop talking. As he's trying to get through the crowd to save your reputation, lest he be beheaded by your mother. And he can't get through the crowd.
Professor Clem, I want to get out of here.
I'm sorry?
Do you want to get out of the predicament that you and I are in? Specifically, do you want to not be pressed up against the bubble?
Oh,
were you thinking I was talking of something else?
My apologies. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. No, I did not think you were. Yes, I would like to. Could I? Some space would be nice. I'm sorry.
We can make some space. And yeah, the prince will move back and will turn to the crowd. It seems that it's gotten quite crowded in here. Anybody in here who would like to? I'm headed over to the Glimmering Promenade and let's see if anyone can win a dance with the second prince. And the prince will announce that he is going to do that to try and ebb the tide in this space to get people to
Roll a scheme. Roll plus your influence here, and let's see if this works.
Oh, we got this. That is a 6.
Okay. On a 6, there is an audible swoon that goes throughout the Petals Respite as several different suitors begin to fan themselves immediately. Like, you see a couple of young impressionables elbowing each other out of the Petal Respite in this moment as it becomes the newest rumor. It doesn't really matter that just a second ago they're like, ew, so rakish. Now they're like, oh, but it could be my rake.
It could be my rake. He will also like turn, kind of like giving a nod to the professor, and he goes to turn, but then he stops and turns back to catch eyes with Lady Vexmore. perhaps you'll be putting in your name as well. And then he'll go and he'll head over to the glimmering promenade.
And everything's
We need
fine,
to
and I'm
stop.
running this game. Sorry, I totally forgot. I was literally like, somebody say something. My job.
as
Okay.
as
I
as
have
the
restarted my
prince,
brain like 6 times. I cannot.
at least as the prince makes this declaration and wanders off, Stephen finishes up the last line of with his charcoal pencil, and just gives a little as the bits of dust blow off, and he goes, all right, if again, it's an early draft, so, and he turns it to Duchess Rebecca Southwick, and you see there's so much movement going on with, he's just been like almost scribbling. To anyone who's like from where she was sitting, it just looks like he was scribbling. There was no order to it. There was no sense to it. But as she looks at it, you can see the fine lines of her features have been captured. Little bits where the flowers would have fallen in that moment, and he quickly just like outlined them and gave them a slight bit of shading, so he knew later on this is how I'm going to truly capture it in its final rendition. And you see that she has. How would question for Duchess Rebecca? What, in being drawn by someone, what would the outer expression be? Because it's an odd thing to just be sitting there, even for a few minutes. What does that look?
I think the look. I'm gonna use a move while I describe this look, because she has a dark look full of feeling, and it would be shot straight to her scholarly companion in this moment, because she's kind of like, I want to get melted, but I want to be fine, but I love this art. He's so lovely, and it's just like it's a lot just going through her mind, because it's just a lot for her, because it's
Yeah.
just like, he's lovely. Everybody hates my family. Everybody doesn't. It's just like trying to make that happy face on the
Yeah.
surface, but underneath it's just like there's so much going on.
Yes.
And so you
Go
can,
ahead and roll me an insight while you're thinking of that, and continue, please, Mr. St.
and
Clair.
yeah, and as you see that there are these lines that literally, like, the eyes speak all of that. Where's this like intensity? Actually, I suppose, where'd you roll?
A 6.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. This intensity of all those internal feelings that don't quite match the smile. It's almost as though he's captured what you're feeling inside, but then something doesn't match overall. He's like, it's again, it'll get there, but this is it.
She would kind of like take the sketchbook like into her lap and just look at it and just kind of have this this feeling of just like, dear God, is this really how I am? Am I this sad? But then not say that out loud, but then like look back up at him and then reach her hand out, put it on his. This is lovely. This is, you've captured me in a way that a lot of people haven't for a while now. This is truly, truly.
Thank you. I'm not. Sorry, I'm not used to hearing that. Usually, I'm used to hearing you should be more like John Turner or you know, Archer Shea or the bloody Emily Roth, but thank you.
Oh, you can
Um,
definitely be yourself.
Duchess Rebecca, you had a dark look full of feeling directed towards the professor, Atlas Clem, and you added +1 to your yearning for that. And this one, when you rolled a 6, you got another 2 yearning. Is that one already distributed?
Ooh, it's not.
It doesn't have to go to the professor in this moment. You rolled the insight on the art after all, but you get to decide. But please place that 2 yearning as well. I didn't want you to miss out on that. That's a big old jump. Uh, you are discussing this moment here, and Professor, you've asked just for a little bit of space, and people do indeed start clearing out as soon as the prince makes the recommendation. The prince, you left as well, correct? You're
Yes.
kind of leading that charge.
I kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I've made myself the golden goose.
Yeah. Professor, you are witnessing this kind of conversation between Mr. St. Clair and the Duchess Rebecca. Standing alone is Lady Vexmore at this moment, who catches your eye as she kind of looks after the prince, who had just said, maybe you'll put in your hat for a dance there. What do you say or do in this moment?
I think while Stephen Sinclair and Duchess Rebecca Southwick are having their conversation and looking over the drawing, I go from hugging my book and like getting the redness out of my cheeks, just like a deep breath, and then I just slightly walk over towards Lady Vexmore. That rake is pretty. That prince is very forward.
Lady Vexmore, as soon as the prince said maybe you'll cast your lot, and they had pulled away from the crowd. It was incredibly stuffy, and you see them like breathing really hard as like their tight like corset or whatever they're wearing is finally getting to them. So they're just like using whatever movement of the crowd to get far away. And let's see, they have this like face of like, I think if everyone's moving, I don't think everyone can see it unless you can, but they're like thinking to themselves, the rake is too free, too golden, too everything shines on the prince, and this is good, this is good. And then a moment of stillness before they're like, hello, yes.
Are you okay?
It's a bit stuffy.
It is, actually. Would you want to go outside and get some air?
Yes, air. What's that like? I mean, yes, outside.
Professor, please give me a roll plus insight here, as we're going to see if you can figure out the source of these symptoms. Doing good?
That's a 1.
Okay. You heard about the prince part of that rant, and you think with this misinterpretation that the prince has done something to offend Lady Vexmore, perhaps flirting with you so brazenly while they had arrived with Lady Vexmore in front of everyone. Could be the reason. Whatever you decide the interpretation is.
Mhm.
But you do indeed manage to head outside together to get some fresh air. There is a small kid on a little stand outside of a stall that has its stand legs in the water, and he's kind of perched up on top of the stall like a frog, and he's been handing out tickets that have little smooches on them, and he goes, love auction, get your love auction here, one dance. And then you hear, leans over as another kid runs up and goes, love auction for the prince. The prince is in the love auction.
Oh,
As
okay.
people flood this stall, the kid looks like he's just hit payday. He's taking bids from everyone. It seems that you will be up for the highest bidder, Your Highness, as soon as we come back from this break. to. Wonderful. Back at the Yon River Fair, there is a stall that's been swarmed by eager romantic hopefuls, wondering if their bid will be the bid to get them a dance with the prince. There are many bids going around, the price increases, and Prince Lark, what price would impress you, I wonder?
Above table, when you say price, do you mean it's like a dollar amount, it's a gold coin amount, or can it be any sort of valued item?
We're doing surrealism, so let's do valued items only.
Stunning. Prince Lark will only accept, or not only accept, but will be impressed by a bid of an item of sentiment in love. So, a engagement ring or a token of one's crush that you've been holding on to for the past 10 years. That is what he's looking for.
Wonderful. As the Petals Respite begins to close down, you see the off-duty Cupid kid slinging his arrow holder thingy, but full of petals, no arrows. As he's walking away, just fully rouged up, kicks a can down the boardwalk. We pan to the rest of the group here. I'm curious, just for now, who has put a bid in for the lovers auction, which is just a dance bid for charity.
Parvati has not put in a bid, but they have given the kids extra money.
To give you one?
No, they just were like, as of a kindness. They're just like,
okay,
oh, you're working really hard. Okay.
I know that this is a kindness, but give me a scheme roll, please. Roll plus influence here.
It's a +1, 4.
Okay. +1 to reputation and a +1 to yearning, as you slide them some extra cash just for doing a good job and being here at the fair working as kids. And you see one of them whispers to the other again, the one who's kind of perched like a frog, and he goes and starts doing something behind the stall. Anyone else? Has anyone else bid on a lover's auction here?
I think Steven is going to take the picture that he had done of the Duchess and the Professor, and is going to, because for that, like, we're doing against surrealism, we're doing items, doesn't have to be actual coinage. He's going to kind of hand that over as a ability to get a bid.
Yeah.
Not specifically to dance with the prince, but just get a ticket in general.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love that. Now you have given... I do fear that this triggers a specific move that you have, entrepreneurial upstart, in terms of the tip of the coffers. Yep. Keep that in mind, because when I ask you to roll, you can, if you'd like, activate that. Okay? All right. In the meantime, you've already paid these kids. You've already tried to tip them, Lady Vexmore, and you're walking with the professor, Professor Clem here. There's still some people gathering for the lovers auction and the results, so you have a few minutes to just kind of promenade around across the lawn, looking out over the fair as the day is starting to wind down. You can talk about anything you like here in this moment, watching the masses as they clamor for a dance with the prince, or there's a few people setting up for fireworks that will go off later tonight as you're strolling down. Some noon fruits that had been picked, or perhaps not, have rolled down the hill where some people were picnicking. The river continues to flow on, and there are people down at the end of the river where it would become a waterfall who have set up the barge for the Yon River Festival to finally, after the full week of festivities, come to a stop. What do either of you say
There's
to each other?
before they do say anything, when they were giving that money to the children, I would like to use an act of kindness that is misconstrued.
Absolutely, you can do that. So, for an act of kindness that is misconstrued, you are using the act of kindness being just tipping the kids.
Mhm.
Okay, please keep in mind what you need to do on your next roll in order to get it to the next highest result.
They, as they were doing that, they had a coin purse and they have hanging off of it a rusty old key that they scurrily like hide. Well, this is a good walk.
Yes.
Breath of fresh air.
Honestly, it's much better than the stuffy pedal respite. Um, can I ask you something straight? Did the prince upset you earlier? I want you to know that um I found myself like against the wall. I know you walked over with them, and I just didn't want you to think that.
No, I honestly, I didn't even know that, but I'm sure they did. I'm sure they have every moment they walk around another person, they're probably saying a word or another. It's just the expectation uh, of of the task, I guess. So it went to my my head, and I'm a little bit nervous. That's all. Um,
Oh,
I think I
you seem you seem flustered. Is there Are these your own feelings?
my true feelings
Yes.
for the prince.
You seem
I
caught up in the fact that the prince has eyes on him at all times, and well, that's more of a status or a community thing. I'm just curious if it's something that you're putting yourself in the middle of for the sake of status or community.
I exist within it, sir. I follow the rules for it, as my mother says, and I will am hoping to make her proud and my family proud. I am kind and genteel, but my real feelings are that people only admire kindness when they believe it comes without teeth. And the prince is a great match. They are kind and considerate, I believe, and it will make my mother proud.
No, not the smile.
I understand what you mean. I've done a lot of reading, actually, of uh, this lifestyle. To be frank with you, I don't have a lot of experience in these circles. I do more time studying than, studying books more than studying uh, norms. Um,
Wait, well, if you, which one? Which one do you find interesting? The the possibility of wait, no, there is one that I was reading the other day about two brothers on a trip and the journey into a land that it has different rules than ours. How wondrous it was to just stand amongst mountains and fields and under willow trees that you don't recognize.
the
It was sad,
Willock
though.
brothers.
You read it.
Yes, of course. It's been some time. I might need a refresher of the tale, but I do remember reading it some time ago. It's very
Oh,
lovely.
it is. I love anything to do with brothers and siblings. I have two of my own, and they are darling. They can be. No, maybe. But the truth is, it ended with them. Well, I read it to them, and they hate me reading the last chapter because it is sad. So I make up the chapter every single time. I the last time they were, instead of what one of the things that happened, they forego like all societal limits and decided to start their own uh well place to pet animals because the younger brother liked animals. Also, my brother likes animals a little too much.
That is beautiful. I
Please
love
both
that.
roll me candor, both of you.
I love these two so much.
Honestly,
Every
I got a
single pairing you love.
everyone's been
Calm down.
I am polycule. I'm saying right now.
Okay, so we have a 5 from you, Professor. What about you, Lady Vexmore?
I also have a 5.
Double 5s. Okay, so you each get a +1 to yearning in this moment. However, there's a bit of a complication here, perhaps only for one of you. As you pass a stall that has its shades drawn in this moment, Professor, there is a green sign above it that
Hmm.
reads, "Absinthe cures all." As you know, absinthe is not a drink to partake in polite company. In fact, most people seeing you at such a stall may have a judgment or two to pass along, but it calls to you either way.
Oh. Lady Vexmore,
Yes.
I've want to say I've been thoroughly enjoying this conversation. Where could I find you later?
Well, at the at the dance later, unless the duel keeps me entertained and my mother can't pull me far from it. She might try.
In the distance, Lady Vexmore, you do hear, "Yoo-hoo!
Oh no.
Yoo-hoo!"
No.
as your mother
Hide.
is becoming
Hide.
quickly approaching
They
from
they will
I
push the professor around behind the stall. Hide. She has her fan out.
propriety.
She oh no. The
oh no. I would like to try to. Could I get into the stall to hide?
Yeah. First give me propriety, and you can give me scheme. To try and take place or take part in this farce here, Professor. So scheme for the professor, and I'll take a touch move, so plus
Okay.
propriety for Lady Vexmore.
I am going to drop in reputation to reroll.
Okay. You see a couple people notice you, dive desperately in for the most taboo liquor in the area.
That's so much better. 5.
Okay.
I got 4.
Okay. +1 to reputation for each of you, so you only actually end up taking 1. And +1 to yearning for you, Lady Vexmore. As you see, not only does this professor not ask questions about why you're shoving him away into like behind a tree, but instead helps you by rolling forward somersault style into the stall, and quiet as a mouse, you are able to turn around and approach your mother without a single issue. It seems that she saw you, but not your male counterpart.
They if they had like fallen in and then my mother is coming at me with her good fan, the if they are wearing glasses, they just quickly mutter like, "If you value the safety of your glasses, just quiet down." And they just like hide them behind. Yes? Hello,
Absolutely.
mother.
And you greet your mother. Professor, you are currently in an absinthe stall. We'll come back to that. A very dangerous place for you to be, considering who you are. And we'll go over to the auction. Duchess Rebecca, are you there, even just people watching, as we know that you are prone to do? And if so, are you there with the entrepreneurial upstart, Mr. St. Clair?
I think she would be here. I think at a certain point, she'd probably look over to him and say, "For a second, may I see your sketchbook?"
Oh, certainly, yes. And he pulls it out and hands it to her. Uh, and as you flip through, you see that there are dozen upon dozens of sketches, some better than others.
These are, these are absolutely beautiful. Every single one of them.
You
You,
might be, you might be the only person in town that thinks that.
I can't. I certainly can't be. You're so talented. This is you. You draw things like they are, and not many people see that. Not many people want to see that. To be honest with you. Has anybody, and please mind me asking, has anybody ever drawn you?
Uh, no, I'm usually the one with the doing the scribbling.
Hmm. If and again, if you would permit me, may I try?
Oh, certainly, yes. Um, I have never been on this side of the page. Yes. And he straightens himself up a little bit, and it's like, is uh, you are the artist. I am in your capable hands. Stage me.
You don't need to be sage. You're quite perfect the way you are. Don't move. And then she would just get
Feel
to.
free to adjust yearning for either of you at this point. Um, I will need a prove move from you, Duchess. So please plus candor as you sketch this, and from you, our lovely Saint Claire. Could you please roll me a scheme move? We're gonna see how your stall boy did today, trying to sell your product.
Ooh. Plus info. 4.
Okay, so with a 4, please add 1 to your reputation,
Okay.
as quite a few of those paintings have been sold. It does come alongside with a bit of a complication, however, which we'll touch base back on in a few hours once you've had the chance to tally up your earnings for the day.
Okay.
Duchess, what did you get?
5.
Okay, please adjust accordingly. With a 5, you can tell as you turn this drawing around that the Duchess Rebecca is not a master artiste, but your likeness on the page and the subtleties of how you would like to be captured are all there. If there's any particular flavoring you would like to give in this moment, Duchess Rebecca, feel free to do so.
Think that for Rebecca, she almost sees him like this. It's like this person who is so good at being like this man who like wants to sell his wares, do all his things, be this like entrepreneurial like person, but it's like she also sees like that passion, and
Yeah.
that passion is what makes her like this drawing that she's like doing like actually in her mind not great at all, but it's like she captures who he is
Yeah.
and what she believes that he probably is even her seeing. And then probably would turn and be like, it is not very good. I do not claim to be an artist, but I think the likeness is probably good. I am so sorry about what I did with your eye. I don't.
It's perfection. It's you put William Constable to shame. I'm. It's a masterpiece.
Oh, you do not have to say that. That's far too kind for what I have done to your wonderful face. It's beyond.
For someone who says that they are not an artist and does not have the capabilities or the talent, I mean, you've captured what individuals strive and struggle for a lifetime to do. I'm bewildered. Thank you.
Of course. I mean, again, if I may ask, would I be able to see more of your art? Perhaps some that you're selling or
Uh,
even you making it.
I would love that. Yeah, Stanley's currently manning the stall. He's a good bloke. Tries his best, I suppose. I do hope he's doing well. Can I? He Stephen keeps staring at this picture. Can I tell you something?
Of course.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to produce art. Since being discharged, and he glances down at his leg, I was given a pension from the army, and that is honestly the only way I've been able to have a living. That pension ends next month, and if I don't make enough sales, I will be nothing more than a peddler cobbler on the street. Meadow,
Yes.
can I at this point use my tip the copper as
You
I open
absolutely
secret?
you absolutely can.
Amazing. So I'll be taking 2 off my reputation.
Yeah. Go ahead and also roll me plus candor in this moment as you are being extremely vulnerable in public with a stranger.
That is a 0. Do I have? Know it. I'm rolling with advantage because I'm being passionate. I'm re-rolling it. I'm re-rolling it.
Okay, re-roll it.
The dice have spoken.
So it's still a 0.
No.
Then.
It's still a 0. It is
Okay.
still a 0. How am I going
Wonderful.
down by?
You see, and you can decide where you want to put this ire, but as you were saying how uncertain your financial station is, with honesty and vulnerability, and of course you cannot help but let your eyes trail down the visage of your muse. You see she is very well off enough to take care of many people and their artistic pursuits, and maybe you're telling the wrong person this. In fact, perhaps you've been swept up in your passionate take as you hear a couple of giggles behind fans as a few people walk behind you as you admit to your precarious financial dilemma. You see Stanley over in the distance. He is draping some curtains over the last few pieces that didn't sell. You see the prince as well coming out to stand next to the stall of the love auctions for dance, how well dressed the prince is, how adored. And you are left in front of your muse, wondering if you are worthy.
Meadow, that was diabolical.
Oh my
That was
god, that hurt
demonic
Ooh,
behavior.
so.
ouch.
Stephen hearing the giggles, seeing this woman that he has been drawn to, that he saw across the lily pads, seeing the prince in his fine attire, seeing that everyone else truly is more worthy, feel like it's more worthy to be here than he ever will be. I mean, he's just a lowly discharged corporal. He didn't make it high up in the ranks. Um, he blushes. Duchess Rebecca, apologies. And he takes his notebook, closes it, puts it back in. Perhaps you'll a dance at please forgive me. And he gives a curt bow and kind of wanders off. Just um, uh, uh,
Wait. She like gets up, gathers her skirt, and just like
You're chasing after him? Propriety.
that is a 5.
Okay. Add 1 to your reputation as people watch you kind of like scurry off after this tortured artist who you see, they're like, oh, what a heart she has, going to go help him in this time of need. People are responding very well to you helping out the poor. So as you you scurry after, what do you say?
Wait. Where? I I don't want to pry into your personal business. I know everybody is not well meaning. That's not the right thing. But if I may, and I know this is very unproper, but I like spending time with you. And again, very improper, but I would like to spend time with you again. If you deem me worthy of spending time with. I know my family has a reputation. I know that it's not all sunshine and lollipops and puppy dogs running around, even though there are a lot of puppy dogs running around this place. It's really weird. But I I want to I want to make you feel comfortable to spend time with me if you want, as I would like to spend time.
I I would love that, but what can I offer you?
You don't
I'm
have to offer me nothing.
I have no title, no lands, no. I don't know how long I'm going to have the canvas and the paints and the pencils at my disposal. I don't know how long I will be able to do anything of worth. I would love to spend time with you, to get to know you, to revel and share in the absurdity that you talk of. You talk of family and how overbearing they are, and yet I would not give for that.
Then do it. You don't have to have land or pick up a pencil or anything. You just spend time. And I would love to spend time watching you draw until you can't draw anymore. I would love for you to play with the many puppies that we have. I would love for you to potentially not meet my brother. He's awful. Don't meet him. But I would just like to spend time with you. You owe me nothing. You will give me nothing but your time. And I will give you mine.
Are you proclaiming your love? Answer the question. Answer the question. Is that what you're doing? Answer the question.
You answer the question right now.
Meet
No
the puppy. It's a one shot.
Because
Yes.
if you are, you can absolutely do that if you'd like.
I feel like for Rebecca, she would probably, since she just, it's so opposite of her life, and to be spending time with somebody who's passionate and wants to do these things, it's like it's so completely just, again, opposite. I think that love takes time to grow, but I think she
That's
would.
true. That's
She,
true.
I think she would also like very much kind of be falling.
Yeah.
And
Give
be
me a D6 roll.
oh no.
I don't know if you have any secrets that you have shared. Let me know if you're adding anything to it. It's +1 per secret and nothing else.
Oh, thank God. It's a 6.
Oh no! Oh God! Don't do that to me.
Mr. Stephen St. Clair, please add 6 to your yearning for the Duchess Rebecca.
I would like to point out that puts me 3 over the max.
If you have anything you'd like to say in response to this, you absolutely can.
My time is yours. If that's all I can give, then I shall give all of it.
Stop the count.
I am declaring you the first blush for now, as we have 2 confessions that match up perfectly. However, that doesn't mean that this story is fully concluded, because in a stall full of absinthe, there is a crouched over professor. I need you to roll me propriety in this moment to
Yikes.
see if you
Yikes.
can resist taking some.
Buddy.
That is a 1 + 1 for a 2.
Oh no!
You peek over the top of the stall and you see
Uh-huh.
Lady Vexmore being led off by her mother. You see the Duchess in a impassioned, smiling conversation, we'll say, with Stephen St. Clair. You see the prince being swarmed by a dozen or more suitors. The absinthe is right there. No one's gonna know if you have some.
It is right there. Well, I came to people watch and study, who said I couldn't have a good time while doing so. And I get some absinthe.
Absolutely, you do. You watch from a bit of a distance as the bids are closed. The prince is led to the front of the crowd. and the kids are clapping and giving some hype, pumping up the crowd as Lady Vexmore is being led away. And the kids go, "Love auction! Auction for the prince is now over! Whoever had the highest bid of the most, what's it called? Sympathetic? Sympathetic! What is the second word? Romantic's lovely bit that they gave us is gonna win. Okay, we're gonna decide." And they start looking through all of the prizes that have been bid and donated. They pull out, there's no money in there. They
Yeah.
pull out this bit of money that was clearly given from Lady Vexmore, and they go, "Is this your favorite? It's my favorite." "Yeah, okay." And they go, "The lady with the money! So romantic! So good and sympathetical!" Lady Vexmore, you are called forward to stand with the prince. Your mother is like pushing you, like stabbing you in the back with her fan to get you
Ow.
to walk forward.
Got it. Not
Go
your
on.
good fan. Ow.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay. All right. Hello.
Hello again.
Hello. Dance. Dance.
You blurt dance. Several instruments do pick up, as there is some, like, there have been lawn parties and a couple of different quartets around entertaining the promenading citizens, and they like kind of confusedly start fiddling, not really sure where to start, and they do begin though as you are cleared around for a very impromptu dance.
You will realize that you wanted to dance with me so much. Glad to know that I dance, your ladyship.
They'll
are-
put on this really good smile of a possible future as a princess, and like open their arms up, and like if they do a turn, they're just like, "Look, mother, I'm doing it."
I need you to
I'm
both
doing it.
roll propriety, please.
That is a 3.
Okay. And a 1. Okay.
Mhm.
So you each are going to take a hit to reputation.
Mhm.
I wonder why. As you begin to dance, you make eye contact with your mother a few times in the lap around in this very slow waltz-like circle. But eventually you stop looking for your mother. Eventually there's just Lark in front of you. His smile, his eyes, his hands are strong and supportive, as if he has danced this his whole life. And you forget that there is a crowd watching for a bit. Similarly, Lark, you are leading this lady through the dance, as you have led many ladies before, and something is different here. What is it? Tell us a little bit more here.
Lark is looking down at her and he is seeing this performative look on her face. And he frowns. And he'll lean down, and that's probably when people are like, because there's like a way that you're supposed to stand while you're dancing, but he kind of breaches that, and he leans close to you and he says, "At the end of this, pretend I said something terrible to you, and I want you to slap me."
She
You don't want this.
first. She
Tell.
like lets out a giggle, like really quick, like as soon as you said like slap, and I'm like, what? What do you? Why? Oh. Oh,
Oh,
I am so sorry.
You're-
I
you've done
didn't
nothing
mean to
wrong.
offend.
You've done nothing. It's me. It's all me. You're too good for me.
That's. You,
I've heard the rumors about me. I know I don't
Sure.
come off as a kind and wonderful fellow. You deserve someone kind and wonderful. Also, I'm not. I have closed my heart off for another, and you are making it very difficult to keep that door closed, my lady.
Okay.
Real quick, please roll for candor here as you share a secret.
Yes, excellent.
Bridgerton soundtrack going off in my ears right
Me
now.
too, me too. Wonderful. I got a 2, but I'm going to use my move, a moment of vulnerability, to be publicly ridiculed. I'm going to take -2 to my reputation and bump my 2 up to a 3.
No, you go all the way up into the next bracket. You get bumped up to a 4.
Oh, to bump it up to a 4 then, yes.
Hell yeah. So add +1 to your reputation, so you really only take a hit of 1. And a +1 to yearning in this moment as you share this secret almost as if you hadn't meant to. It's just so easy to be honest with her. And I would love, Lady Vexmore, if you could respond for us before I ask from a roll for you.
When they did the turn around and finally got swept up, their eyes just take in the hair, the face, the softness that's coming around, and like this inkling of hope of like they just like, oh, this could be an adventure, maybe. I don't know it. I haven't opened the pages. I don't know it. Okay. I'm look, I am more than what I seem. And they're fiddling with that key in their hand. You are not too good for me. I am meant to be forgotten, not married, not known. It is not you that I find uncomfortable, Prince. It's the light. It keeps shining on you, and it cannot shine on me.
Right. Of course. It will be hard to forget you, milady. Like the artist earlier, though I don't have a book, the profile of you was already sketched in my mind. It will be hard to erase those pages. You should slap me now, before I do something terrible.
What do you do?
Why are you hurting us like this?
What do you do, Lady Vexmore?
We have
Do you
15 minutes.
Or do you not? Do you slap or do you not?
They, if that is what you wish. They raise their hand so fast up to them, and it's shaking, and they go to slap, but it like raises to not hurt the prince. Off! I don't want to dance anymore. Please, enough. And they push away. But when they push away, they're just standing very still. And they look at the prince with a look of gratitude. And a little remorse, and walk backwards.
Lady's too kind for a rake such as myself. Seems she's heard the rumors. Fortunate that she got the dance with me, then he says that kind of openly and kind of turns his back so that she can walk away.
I need you both to roll me. Roll me propriety, please, for you, Lady Vexmore, and for our break, roll me scheme. You're using your influence to lie to the people right now.
Oh. That is a 4. But I'm also going to spend an accomplished young person. When you're raised knowledgeable in many subjects and talents in numerous arts. So he's using his ability to speak to the crowd, and
Yeah.
I'm going to take a minus to my reputation to bump her up.
What was your roll, Miss Vexmore?
That's a 3.
Not anymore. It is now a 4. So you're bumped up to the next bracket. Add a 1 to your reputation for shoving off this rakish prince, and a +1 to yearning in this moment. As Prince Lark, you turn. Lady Vexmore, what doesn't he see?
Sorry, that was to me. Yep. Uh, he doesn't see that she is excited for a new adventure, whether it's set on the terms of marriage and status, but she is clutching something in her hand that people cannot know about. She is the darling. She is the eldest of the Vexmore. She is bright, beautiful, and she, for sure, has never seen this sight of blood. Never hurt anyone. Never has done anything improper.
Your mother links arms with you and says, "Don't worry, dear. I'm sure we'll get them next time. It'll be fine. You did well today, very well. Don't worry, no one will
Mother.
ever know what you're capable of. I promise."
Yes, of course.
And with that smile of uncertainty, and with the prince turning away from perhaps the final chance at true love, we begin to fade out from this role play.
I
And
do
that's
need you to know I've been gently bumping up my yearning this entire time for Lady Vexmore. So as she turns away and he turns away from her, he clutches something in his coat pocket as well. It is in a circle, but he moves his hand away as his yearning grows too great.
Why do you hurt us like this?
This
dare
has
you.
been proper yearning in a time of uncertainty. At least the part frickin' one. That was wild. As our first blush of the season, Duchess Rebecca Southwick and Mr. Stephen St. Clair, I'd love to congratulate you on finding true love in such a time as this. And I'd love for everyone to be able to give little outros of where you can find them next. And I will go last. So let's start with our first blush. Insha, would you like to take it away?
Oh God, how do I talk about myself? I'm always doing this. Wow. Hi, I've been Insha, and I will stay Insha, and I have been in this game, Duchess Rebecca. This is so much fun. Meadow, you're amazing. Everybody's amazing. You can find me at Instagram on Instagram with 2 eyes. And any pocket and corner of the internet that you would like, just Google my name. There's only one of me. And yeah, thank you.
No, thank you. And as the other half of our first blush, Jacob, could you tell the people where they can find you?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm Jacob. I played Mr. Stephen St. Clair today, and you can find me on all the socials at JR Shore Lunch. That's JRSCHOR Lunch. I'm a digital artist and cosplayer, and I do commissions. So if you're looking to bring your next character to life, reach out to me. I love working with cool people to bring cool things to life. And other places you can find me, I will be a part of season 2 of Amber Ascension over on Boss Jellybean, where I play the less kind and artistic Rex Morrison, who is a piece of shit. And I'm also just kind of like all over the place. So, like so many others, just follow the socials and you'll see where I'm at next.
Thank you very much, Mr. St. Clair. And James, you go next. Talk to the people about our
Hello.
blushing scholar.
Absolutely. You guys can find me primarily on Instagram for my personal socials. It's TTRPG James. But if you want to see me throw down on some dice, you can go to RPG Familiar on YouTube. Or you could also check out Forgotten Adventures with my guest appearances on Fears and Fortunes, joining in season 2.
Yeehaw. And I'm also there, so you can show up for me, but stay for James. And for
Watch
our...
me bug Meadow.
No, that never happens. Nikki, would you please, after playing such a rakish rogue, tell the people who you really are?
Hi everyone, it's me, Nikki. I am on the socials as the Wigged GM or the Goblin GM, but primarily I am a professional dungeon master on Start Playing Games, which is me and Meadow do that, well, not together, but maybe one day. If you are looking for games similar to this, I run Regency style fairy games, pirate games, and I am dabbling into other TTRPGs, and this has now been added to my TTRPG list. I have summer games coming up soon, so if you are interested in pining and yearning and maybe a little bit of fairy magic, you should check out my page.
You absolutely should. Nikki's amazing. And thank you so much to Starcrawl for having us to tell you more about himself and about Starcrawl. Maz, would you please bring it home before I say bye to everybody?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Maz, or Megan. I'm a voice actor and AP performer in this awesome space and a streamer over at my streams. My goodness. With my community, where we actually make homebrew worlds like our Realm of Cap and Crown, a Mushroom Kingdom full of Game of Thrones and lots of letter writing. But also our Eberron Ravnica world that is Full Metal Alchemist inspired. All that incredible homebrew worlds, like all that, started us wanting a little space where more BIPOC creators could come and make stories, build their games, cool stuff together, and that's how Starcrawl was formed. So that's how you're seeing it here, now, in chat, possibly, in the future. Hi, Future Moz. Also, everyone wave to Future Moz. Hello. Yes, so yeah. Hopefully this comes to a part 2 because, yeah, Lady Vexmore has so many things to say. My goodness. Yep. My stories, Meadow. Back to
In
you.
in a game of secrets and intrigue and layers and love, it always feels like there's never enough time to do all the things you want to do. So we might get a second or third or whatever part. We'll see. I am Meadow. I have been Meadow. We'll hopefully continue to be Meadow in the future. You can find me everywhere on the internet that matters at Howdy Love Darlin or Howdy Love Darlin GM. I do Start Playing. I will have my own Twitch channel starting up this month. I'm busy, and can't wait to see you all in the future to tell stories just like this. Thank you again to Starcrawl for having me, and thank you to this wonderful cast of players for being exceptional yearners. Until next time.
Alrighty, and we're